Hello, beautiful souls. Kathleen here. Welcome in. Today is Sunday, December 14th, and I wanted to share messages for this week. Also, want to mention if you are looking for a breakthrough, you're tired of feeling stuck, lost in the fog, not sure what the answer is, book a clarity and purpose call. There's a link below. Would love to chat. And if you're watching me on my YouTube page in the replay, I should say my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. And thank you for being here in the Animal Angel Connection group live today. I've been going live every week to share what's coming through from the animals and wisdom for you because they can see things we can't. And I want to start off with the fox here, and I feel like this is kind of the universal message, and it says think on your feet. The problem is we can't think very well on our feet if we're dragging our feet, right? So if you feel me on this one, are you dragging your feet? Is it going slow? Are you struggling? Do you feel like you're in quicksand or maybe going backwards? Well, we're going to be diving into some more information on that, some messages that have come up before. It's been something that's been repeated this year, but, how do you think on your feet? How do you stay alert? How do you keep your mind clear and let, these messages come in from your animals, from wild animals or whatever? So anyway, think on your feet. How do we go about doing that? And right off the top here, getting back to the bear once again, the bear says, take time out. So this message has been coming up over and over and over. It's like we keep burning ourselves out, trying to go, and run on the treadmill, and then we wonder why we're not getting anywhere and we're not making any progress. Because we need to take a breather like the bear that goes in its den for winter. And now the holidays are upon us, right? So it's a good time to chill out for a moment. Because when we chill, and I can tell you this as a hypnotherapist, because hypnosis is a Greek word for sleep, you see. We sleep, we take a time out, and we let the ideas flow. We let the transformations flow. When we take that time out, when we go into our cocoon or cave, whatever you want to call it, take a deep breath, take a snooze, and it makes me want to yawn just thinking about it. But that's that's what's coming next. We go from the fox to thinking on your feet. When this was coming up, I could see how it's all playing out here. We can't think on our feet if our feet are dragging. So it's time for that power nap. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they said they're so exhausted and they're trying to run a business. And I said, you need a power nap. She's like, well, then I just want to keep sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. But you can't run on empty. You can't pour from an empty vessel. You're going to run out. You're going to be exhausted. Then you're going to get sick. And then the universe, God, however you see it, is going to say, hey, I'm going to make you stop because I'm going to make you sick. You're going to get a cold. You're going to get the flu. Whatever, because it's a message from the universe to take a break, take a time out. So if we don't do it, sometimes we're forced into it and it's not pleasant. In fact, last Christmas, I had a horrible flu. It started Christmas Eve and it was like 4 days of fever. I had really bad body aches. I couldn't think straight. So needless to say, it was, God, the universe's way of saying, take a time out, you're being forced to now. So you don't want to learn the hard way, right? So be like the bear, get off the treadmill. And of course, this is a time of year where sometimes we soothe ourselves with sweets and things which only provide empty calories and temporary energy. It's fake energy that doesn't last, and then we crash. So be mindful, be mindful of what's going on with what you're eating this time of year too. Are you going to be regretting it in a month? Are you going to be wishing maybe you hadn't gone off the deep end? Something to think about with the holiday food that comes out. Been there, done that. Okay, so hummingbird spirit has been around a lot as well this year. Be here now. It's all in alignment, be in the moment. So we need to take a time out, take a break, take a breather, be in the moment. The hummingbird's probably been the number one card this year of being in the moment. And so that we stop worrying about the future, having regrets over the past. And this also goes for you animal lovers as well, because animals, unless we're communicating with them, a lot of people really aren't, or that we become disconnected when they're dying, they're crossing over, and we end up, especially when we have to euthanize an animal because it's in their best interest, we hate to see them suffer. We still beat ourselves up with guilt. We struggle to find peace of mind, which is where my animal communication comes in. And so yeah, being here in the now means to stop beating yourself up as well over the past and what's happened. It's time to let go. You want to start the new year on a different foot, shall we say. Think on your feet, right? But not on the same foot that you've been running on like crazy. So, and when you do these things, when you take a time out, when you be here now, when you're here now, and then, we get to the dove spirit, which is about be peace. Now, notice it doesn't say be at peace. It says be peace. So you're really embodying peace. Letting go of every ounce of, whatever the negativity is. Really imagine, and in hypnotherapy, we use our imagination. It's the most powerful part of us. And you can visualize a dove wrapping its soft, gentle white wings around you in a way to help you to embody peace. It's so beautiful, even the colors there. So how can you be peace? Here's a question for you, because when we become peace, that's when answers come to us. That's when we're tapped in and tuned in to our intuition. It's how we are able to think on our feet like a fox when we embody that peace and let go. We let go, then we can receive. But when we're holding on, it blocks us from receiving abundance, from receiving messages from animals, from receiving inspired ideas. The greatest ideas are, come from inspiration, not so much from studying and all that other stuff. We can study and read books and still not come up with something that's truly inspired. I've been diving into fragrances lately, which is really interesting because I'm normally not a fragrance person. But, these scents that they come up with, which have all these different layers of notes, these are inspirations that come through, it doesn't come from working hard and analyzing it to death, but all of a sudden it's, wouldn't marshmallow and strawberry go really well together? More like comes from the universe, from angels, from guides, from God, whatever you perceive things to be. And then, you're able to think on your feet again because now you've got inspired ideas. But taking the time out and being in the moment is going to help you with that. That's how you move forward, by stepping back. Does that make any sense? I was getting this visual of line dancing, or not line dancing. It's like the Arizona two-step forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 step forward. Anyway, you got to kind of take a step back so you can take a couple steps forward. Get that breather, get the clarity, get the rest, get the insight, and then the ideas will come flowing to you. So when all of this happens, it's about surrendering, not controlling the situation. We think that in order to think on our feet, we have to be in charge and be in control and be in our game. But when you surrender and you let go and you take the time out and you be in the moment and you feel that peace. So the bear, the hummingbird, the dove, you bring all that together, right? It's about surrendering to the answers, surrendering to those inspired ideas that need to come to you so that you can live a life that's aligned, authentic, and abundant. So remember to surrender, and it takes these other components in order to do that. And then once you do, you'll be able to think on your feet. So I hope those messages help you. For more information, my website is mustangmindset.com. Again, thank you to everyone here in the group. Would love to see your comments. Or if you're on YouTube, please comment, subscribe. Would love to hear from you. How does this resonate for you? How does this, align with what you need right now? So would love to hear from you. And thank you again for tuning in, everyone. Bye for now.